Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of BrobusCast. I am your host, BrobusCast, and with me today is ZDogg.
Thank you, BrobusCast. Because you're Robuscus and you do a podcast, and yeah.
And we also have Richard.
This episode is definitely right about one thing. Life is full of disappointments.
Ooh, foreshadowing me. Ooh. No, I'm kidding. I actually don't know if that was, but
I'll never tell.
I mean,
and we also have someone who will be joining us next time. Who will be joining us later, because we're doing this separately, because we're trying something new so we don't freaking murder ourselves at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I'm here.
Yes, you are.
Open with that.
Yeah.
You're here. You're not dead. That's
I know, right? Man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I got some weird comments about not like on the YouTube side, but like on like discussions and whatnot. Being like, "Dude, you just dipped." I'm like, "Bro, it was like 1 a.m. like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I tried. Look, I tried, people. I don't know if you've ever recorded late like we have, but depending on the type of day with me, my energy can just go plummeting like that. So, I and also what didn't help was that I had a very bad stomach ache. Like my digestive system is getting old, so it's hard to eat like I'm a teenager again. And at certain points, it's like, okay, I need to just lie down. So I tried to power through it, but I couldn't. And I think for the sake of it, it would have just killed the energy flow, because I did watch the prediction side from both of you. You did a great job, by the way. And I would have just been essentially like a zombie. I would have just been like, you would have heard that kind of low grunt in me, and I didn't want that. Like, I don't ever want to bring down the mood for these. I don't want us to have a dour experience when recording. We're supposed to have fun.
Exactly.
And we have to put ourselves first.
Yeah, exactly. We are in fact human beings, and we have to look out for ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
But hopefully that leads to, I don't know. Hopefully this leads to, like, us not being sounding so tired at the end of during the prediction segments. Because I mean, we can tend to go pretty damn late sometimes. So
yeah. For those who don't know, we ended up stopping that recording probably, I want to say, around like 3 a.m, which for us isn't like the worst thing ever. But we were talking for 4 hours. I think our batteries were just steadily going down and down and down, and then they died. So
where's the Energizer Bunny when you need them?
Yep. Yep. So well,
and
we'll see how this goes.
And that's why we're now splitting this up into 2 parts. In fact, you may have noticed.
Yep.
Well, you absolutely have noticed. The episodes have been in 2 parts. Now we're recording in 2 parts. So hopefully we can stop that from happening.
Yes, I agree.
And if there's any set of episodes to test this out on, I think this is probably the best to do it because oh boy, do we have a lot to say about these upcoming episodes or this set of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
words indeed will be said.
Mm-hmm. Some may be positive, some may be negative. You just have to stick around and find out
And
won't you?
and some that will most definitely end with one Death Battle fan out there saying, I'm going to kill that Richard guy for his negative comment. But
Well,
what you don't know, that one person, is that I've been killed on this platform before, and I always come back. I basically got infinite lives right now, so
I was
take
gonna,
a shot.
I was gonna say you're William. Are you William? I did. I was gonna say, are you William Afton? But okay.
I
Jesus
literally have
Christ.
two. I literally have two channels. I basically at this point have a backup life.
Well, there you go.
There you go. All
Yeah.
right. Anyways, we
Yeah.
do indeed have a lot to talk about. So, because yeah, okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to get. I don't even know where to get into this.
Oh. Well, first of all, let's set the stage. So this first part will be talking about Gru versus Megamind, the most anticipated, most requested death battle episode, going as far back as the series inception. It's been on a Tournament of Champions episode, and it's definitely an episode that the three of us have been looking forward to, like the rest of y'all. And I guess we might as well just cut the cord and just say that Group won.
He did.
Yep.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah, he did in fact win, didn't he? Which
We okay.
well, first, well, there goes my age streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting them right at least.
Yay! I finally get a win. And wait, what is this empty, hollow feeling inside?
Yeah.
Well.
We need to talk about this because honestly,
Oh,
I don't know about y'all, but this is okay. I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. This particular part of this episode is going to be me. I do have some things to say on both positive and negative, but this is mostly going to be mostly going to be me at least trying to come to this episode's defense.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase on that. I don't know how the other two feel about it. Well, I guess we'll find out together, won't we? Well, I guess Richard already spoiled his thoughts, but okay.
Well, no, I actually didn't. I just said I have. Well, actually, yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
Look. All right, look. Here's. I'll drop the subtlety if that makes it better. This was bullshit.
well, damn.
Okay. Okay. Now hold on. I'm making this disclaimer right here, right now, because literally the first part we have to talk about for this episode will not get that idea across.
No. So, okay. All right, bro.
Because we are
we'll stay behind you. You go and lead.
Okay, because I'm gonna be honest, we are leading with easily the worst part of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Now hold on. Before anybody says anything, I just want to make it clear. Okay, yes, Gru won. I don't care about that. That's not my problem.
Same.
I said it last episode. There is a lot of easy avenues you can make for him to win this fight, and sure, me and ZDogg didn't subscribe to those avenues, but they are still there, and we acknowledge that they are valid. So please tell me why they went in the least convincing way possible. um,
Let me add to that statement. Please tell us why on God's earth did they decide to go with the most batshit insane argument I think I've ever heard for this show in my almost 2 decades of watching it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm gonna be honest. This conclusion and the reasoning and the argument, this kind of felt like it was going in season 1 and 2 directions.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
That might be a bit. You know what? I'll come back to that statement later. But
Yeah.
Okay. Quite honestly, I don't want to get too in depth into the problems I have, because quite honestly, we could do a whole podcast dedicated to it. I'm not gonna lie.
We could literally go on for 3 hours about this discussion.
But okay, what I will say is this. So like I said, there are a lot of easy avenues you can make for Gru to win. Me personally, I was expecting to view this, like, even the moment I saw Gru win, like in the fight, I was like, okay, so what's probably going to happen going forward is they're going to present their argument. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm still going to side with Megamind because I still find my argument, like, unless they just completely attacked my arguments and said all of it is bad. It's the same thing I felt with Bowser vs. Eggman. It's the same thing I felt with Daunting vs. Clive. I was like, okay. So I even said it last episode. I thought Gru was going to win the episode. So I was like, okay.
Well,
yeah.
So even if Gru does win, what's probably going to happen is they're going to have their arguments, and I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, what you said makes sense. I still kind of feel like Megamind should win, and we're just going to leave it at that. It's going to be all hunky-dory. Same thing with those other 2 episodes. I hold nothing against either of those episodes' results, despite me feeling the other way. So it's quite telling when even Gru supporters are like, yeah, this result makes no sense.
Yeah. And I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Okay, all right. Look, instead of just breaking it down piece by piece, because we did say we weren't going to do that, because the entire video could be dedicated to that and that alone.
Yeah.
Look, I think let's do this. Let's just go dartboard style. We'll just pick a random thing that from this episode that is on this topic of the argument and the conclusion and the reasoning behind that, and just give our thoughts instead of just going over the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You know what? Sure, I have an overall thing, but I'll save it.
Yeah. I think I have 2 big things that I'm very confused. Okay, one I'm very confused about, but the other I just I really don't fancy, honestly.
Okay, if you have 2, hold on. If you have 2, then why don't you let the 2 of us go, so that if we say the same thing, you can say the other.
That's fair.
Okay, Richard.
All right.
Richard, you want to go
say
first?
both of them? Oh well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Richard.
Okay. So here we'll do 2. That's a good idea. So
Can we stick to 1? Just so
okay,
just
fine.
for time.
Sorry. All right. So my one thing is I do not agree with the methodology of using an anti-beat.
Yeah.
Okay. It was probably gonna be one of us. You did say that, so I'm just gonna say, for the first time, they have used an anti-feat. Now, granted, it's not like we couldn't have seen this as some kind of a possibility, but I was hoping, I think we all were, that they would be the bigger men and women, people, and not go down that route, because I just want to say it, and Bro did a great job of explaining it last time, but Megamind rules is not something that I think needs to be added to Megamind's whole, well, let's just say character. Because, yes, did he do things in the show that he would not have done in the movie? Yes. But should we count that as a reason to give Brew the win? Because those exact circumstances would happen. I say no. I do not agree with it. And I think that this ended up portraying Megamind in a bad light. And I don't like it.
I guess
I don't like it one.
I guess the ultimate argument they were making is that in the one of the tabs kind of goes into it a little bit further. It was that like in general, Megamind is a bit more relaxing to use his stuff. Like Gru locks the hell in,
Right.
whereas Megamind doesn't, kind of, sort of, when it's like,
But,
and I'm like,
yeah.
I guess that's kind of true, but
Okay,
yeah.
it is, but it isn't. Counter. The ending of the Megamind movie clearly shows that when the chips were down and shit got real, and the literal fate of Metro City was at stake, Megamind can definitely lock the hell in.
yeah.
So, I do not agree with that. And again, I do not like that Megamind rules, for lack of a better word, was used as an argument to why, more times than not, in their opinion, just gotta remember to emphasize that,
Yeah.
their opinion, Megamind would lose. And Gru would. I do not agree with that methodology. I'm sorry.
Hold on, real quick. I want to put I probably should have done this before we even started, but I want to put a disclaimer. Please, for the love of God, don't attack anybody for this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, because I have things to say about that are unrelated to the analysis segment, and I think you both know what I'm talking about. So yes, please, God, do not attack them. Like
okay,
they already did enough death threats as it is. Please, come on.
like I've seen okay, a lot of this is kind of pinned down. Well, maybe I should watch what I say. A lot of this, the problems with the result, at least from people, even from people that have like some degree of sense. So, you know, basically anybody that's not on Reddit. They like to pin it on the writer. And
Yes, and that is the easiest thing to do.
it's super easy to do, and I get it, but can we like not though?
No, but by the way, sorry, I was just going to say my point is done. So,
Yeah.
Good transit. You pretty much transitioned into your point, so the floor is yours.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to say something about that.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like well, first of all, yeah, second that. Obviously, don't attack the team or writer for this episode or any other versus show. To be frank, honestly, you shouldn't be doing that in general. and you know, after a certain episode of another versus show, I don't know,
Anyway,
don't be doing that shit, regardless. But anyway, back to what Richard's point. I don't know. To be as quick as possible, kind of felt like they were just including the meme just to be. They included the meme just to include the meme.
oh, that's
Which
that's
I don't.
I can confirm that's mostly what it is.
Like-
Because they kind of elaborated that further on Cast. I think it was Cast. Or no, it might have been Fireside Chat.
Yes.
Anyway, regardless, it doesn't matter. The inclusion of the whole shoot them with the dehydration gun thing. You all know the memes. Like, y'all are annoying with the memes.
These died down a year ago, and I hate that they're.
It being included here is mostly played up as the gag that it is. But if that's my thing is, like, okay, obviously I get their main point, like what they're truly arguing here. And like people treat it as like the main reason why Megamind lost, which is not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
And it's like it's not. It was mostly here as a gag. If my thing is, if it's mostly here as a gag, then why is it here at all? Like, okay, it being in Megamind's analysis is like, okay, you're playing into the memes, whatever. Like, I would just let it go.
Yeah, but
like,
they do that with like every.
Yeah,
they do that
I
with
know,
most now.
I know. I just really hate the meme, so I was hoping they wouldn't include it. But that's just me.
That's right. I have some words on it. About that next episode,
but then they include it in the verdict, and I'm just like, why? Like, I mean, I get that their argument was like, you know, Megamind is just in general a bit more lax than Gru.
But you know, it's fine.
Sure, like that point in itself is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
It's just they use. Why did they have to use this as the example? There's a lot of other, like, believe me, I support Megamind. There's a lot of other examples you can use to say that, like, more times than not, Gru is going to lock in first, and he's shown like pretty good record against, like, locking in against someone who loves to show off, kind of like Megamind. And they show that immediately after they make their point. So it's like, just do that. If you're gonna make this point, but okay, whatever.
Like, listen, like, I won't lie, I still kind of find some humor in the meme, but I don't. And like I said, it just feels like it was just there for the meme, even though I know it's not the only example of it, and I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But you know,
And it in general led to like 90% of the comments on the video being like, "Oh, Megamind lost because of the sequel," and I'm like, it's not really, but okay, go off, I guess.
As if we need another reason to go after the series any further than we already did when it premiered 2 years ago.
Okay, I guess
that's what we found it.
Okay, I guess. Well, ZDogg, did Richard cover one of your 2 points, or should I go next?
Was that not? Yeah, whatever.
I haven't gone yet. So.
Yeah, you covered my point pretty good.
So.
Hey,
go ahead.
Yeah, bro.
Me? Okay. Oh man, we're. I have a lot I can say really, but we're. There's 2 big ones I really want to address off the top of my head. I'll do one. We said one. I'm gonna do one. Comparing their successes versus their failures.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's honestly, I don't entirely even blame them for this point because it's such an easy trap to fall into. Because, like, okay, sure, yes, Gru found, particularly in their villain phases, Gru found success as a villain. Even if they were small, they were still there. Megamind didn't. And like that's kind of true, but I also feel like context is missing here.
Yeah.
And, actually, it's weird because I feel like context is both there but not there because they say just before that that it's like it's not like Gru has to deal with like it's literally their exact quote. It's not like Gru has to deal with Elvis Superman, and then they immediately backtrack that.
Yes.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Gru technically is more of a successful hero, spy, whatever you want to call him, than Megamind. But also, I feel like Metro Man is kind of shitting on Gru's competition.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right there. That is what I agree with. Okay, look. Yes, again, I'll give Gru his flowers. He stole the Queen of England's crown. He stole replicas of the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower and the New York Jumbotron. And yes, he did take the moon. But if we're really going off of the whole franchise, and yes, he did defeat an 80s villain who was literally obsessed with the 80s, then his accomplishments can be accounted on one hand. Yes, Megamind didn't accomplish a lot, but I feel like, again, like Bro said, there's not context there for that argument, because, again, Megamind actually had an arch nemesis. Like, the difference in their supervillainy couldn't be more distinct. One was just stealing shit. The other was fighting his actual arch nemesis, who was essentially a Superman knockoff who could do fucking anything. How is that comparable to say that? How is that comparable in the argument to say that more times than not, Gru has had better success than Megamind? Yes, he's had better success in stealing things. I'll give him that. But he hasn't fought an actual arch nemesis. Like, Gru is not a traditional supervillain. He is a thief, not a villain. So I really feel like that statement was poorly worded, because if Metro Man came to Gru's fucking city and Gru tried to take him on, Metro Man would just wipe the floor with his bald fat ass head.
Well, not even just that, but it's also pretty established that Megamind and Metro Man's sort of rivalry, like, it is like a genuine rivalry. They do genuinely not like each other very much, but their whole feud is mostly a game to them.
Like the game.
Like, even in from Megamind's perspective, his lifestyle is basically do a bad thing. Metro Man shows up, they fight, he loses, he goes to prison, rinse and repeat. That's his lifestyle. That is his entire lifestyle. That is how he lives his days, and he loves it. Loved it, I should say.
Loved it. And
like, Megamind will always say, like, yeah, I totally tried to take down Metro Man. He even says at the beginning of the movie, he would win some, I would almost win others. It's like, he's never gonna just outright say, yeah, I totally meant to, like, he's gonna, like, at some point he's gonna say, oh yeah, I absolutely tried to kill this guy. But then the second that it looks like he does, he has an existential crisis about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I also feel like it's just like I felt like their relationship is very like Batman and Joker, Sonic and Eggman sort of thing, where it's like, if Megamind really absolutely goddamn wanted to, he could absolutely just carpet bomb Metro Man, blow up Metro City, and that would be it. But that's never what his goal. That's never what his goal was. He lives for the hero versus villain lifestyle. But that means that he never really takes any of it. He never really took any of it super seriously.
until it was too late.
Yeah, and really, neither did Metro Man. And in his case, dude, the second it got serious for him, he just straight quit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, again. So,
It feels weird to me to be like, okay, because on the one hand, yeah, Gru does lock in a lot more than Megamind does, but at the same time, even in their villain phases, like they even say in Gru's analysis, like he is bad, but he's not good at being bad.
yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, you stole a giant ass TV, great, that's actually kind of cool for you, buddy. You stole the Statue of Liberty from Las Vegas. Okay. You stole the Eiffel Tower, also from Las Vegas. Okay. You stole the shrink ray, and then it got stolen from you. You tried to lie to 3 girls to get the shrink ray back, and then you adopted them actually.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
like Gru takes things more seriously, but he's also sucks a lot more. Like,
I was gonna say, again, Megamind has locked in. Like, okay, if he really doesn't lock in as much as Gru, then let me ask a question. Why would he put so much time and effort into kidnapping Roxanne day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year? Why would he go through all that time to scheme, plan how everything's gonna go with his big fight for Metro Man? Why would he waste his time building equipment to take down Metro Man and then only for him to lose? So again, it is not that Megamind doesn't lock in. No, if anything, I would say that he locks in more than Gru does, because yes, Gru can lock in, but it very much is. Well, when the chips are down and his plan goes to shit and he fails, he does fail upward. But the idea that Megamind fails harder, therefore he has to get up and keep going, yes, that's more relatable and that's true. But the argument is pretending and making the statement that Megamind doesn't do it enough. Like, that's just it. Megamind is essentially somebody who doesn't take things seriously until the city that he defends is literally about to be destroyed. But there's evidence to the contrary for that. Even in Megamind rules, there's evidence that contradicts it.
yeah, that's my point. Like, it's again, it is an easy trap to fall into, because again, yes, Gru does have more successes than Megamind. To be fair, it is like in their villain phases, it is pretty easy to have more successes than none. But again, it's the context that matters here. Like, Megamind in general deals with I would say more like I mean, dangerous threat isn't the right word, because Metro Man was a hero, but I don't know. It's literally like they said, Gru doesn't have to deal with Elvis Superman. Yeah, that's the problem with your argument here. That's all I have. That's the point I'm gonna address. Although now that I say all that, I should have addressed the other one I was debating on, because it actually leads into the main thing we were arguing the last episode. But you know what, ZDogg, how about you take it away?
I mean, I'll try. I mean, okay, yeah. I mentioned with the whole meme thing, but also, I mean, okay, it feels like this is like overall stats were pushed aside, which, you know, is fine. Like, I don't think every episode needs to be, like, you know, heavy on stats, but of all things, why did you I don't know, it feels weird that one of the big feats you brought up in comparison is comparing the D gun to the shrink ray when that
Oh, no,
really
oh no,
can't be
oh, no.
applied?
Oh no, I can make it worse. This is actually one of my points I was debating. No,
there
they
you go.
no, they compared Megamind's death ray to the shrink ray, and I really
Yeah, the
don't
death
understand.
ray.
I really really don't understand why.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, like I don't know, like
ZDogg.
using the shrink ray for attack potency is that's like why it doesn't do that. Like
yeah,
if it was, I think it would have made more sense if they calculated the speed it would have taken to shrink the moon instead. I think that would have, and heck, that might have even been like a lot more believable. Compared, I have the argument Mega Man has all these things, but if they're all teeny weeny little things, that's not gonna do much, and he
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause
have a way to.
that's the funny
Yeah,
thing. That's
no,
the funny
I
thing because
agree.
that's the funny thing because like the shrink ray is actually super helpful here, just not for the reasons they said.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But
I guess
then again,
I guess like
why didn't
maybe
they make that argument?
I don't know. I guess like maybe you could potentially argue I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, but maybe the kinetic energy of the thing shrinking. Like obviously there are feats like you can make an argument for a feat of the object regrowing, because one of the feats people argued for the longest time was Vector being on the moon as it was expanding, so you could get the kinetic energy of its growth with the surface area of his body, and you can get some good stuff out of that. That's fine. That's still not what they're doing, but you can do that. It's I don't know, maybe you can argue it shrinking has something, but that's still not what it does. So I'm grasping here.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're taking a weapon that shrinks objects versus another that blows them up, and I don't.
Yeah, that
What
doesn't
what?
make
Huh?
sense. that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make none of this make sense. And again, if you're really saying that, and the idea that, oh well, when you calc Gru shrinking the moon, that comes out to more than Megamind's death ray blowing up something. I'm like, y'all only used. So again, they only used it blowing up the observatory, but they didn't use the asteroid feed, and they didn't even address the big and final thing that the death ray could do. So it really feels like, for the sake of the argument, they were like, look, and if we just go off the first movie, which they did, then the reasoning for saying that, oh well, the shrink way shrinking the moon just comes out to more than Megamind blowing up an old observatory.
Right, but that's still not what it does, though.
No.
It's not destroying an object. It's just making it smaller.
Yes.
Which
yes,
is
exactly.
That's great and it's helpful. It's really helpful, but why
you're
are
not using it right?
Why are we comparing it to the death ray? You know what? I'm gonna make the second point. I don't give a shit anymore. Okay.
Well, wait. With the ZDogg, do you have anything further to add?
I mean, that's really it. Okay, I'll be honest. I know I mentioned the thing about not having other calcs. I'm okay, honestly, with episodes not relying on calcs for verdict.
Sure.
It's just I feel like the ones you should have should. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do that, you should have it be. I don't know. Have the arguments make more sense, and if you are gonna calc things, double check, that there would be the right ones to include.
Or
Yeah.
Or maybe double check their measurements.
Or double check their measurements. Yeah.
Can I quickly comment on the death ray's feat versus Gru's missile feat?
Sure.
Because okay, look, I don't claim to be a calc extraordinaire. So maybe everything they said about both those feats are completely fine, and I'm just dumb. But okay. I'm gonna start with Gru's feat. Okay. Well, to clarify, the Gru missile feat is a really impressive durability feat. I don't want to imply otherwise. It's great. He had 4 missiles just staring at him right in the face from like a few feet away, and they blew up, and he lived. Like that's cool. That's a good feat. I really. Now, I will grant I don't remember what the community got the feat to, so maybe they got it higher, and again, I'm just dumb. That is, I don't deny that is possible. I want to know how they got... okay, I guess that's ultimately the thing. I want to know how they got these numbers. And it's not even like I'm not even trying to make that as like a commentary. I'm genuinely curious. Because... maybe for Gru's side, it's just like, like animation versus intention, because you see the giant mushroom cloud, but then you cut back to Gru, and all that's really there is like a hole the size of him.
Yeah, a small crater.
Yeah, so like I guess like again, maybe that's obviously I don't think the animators on that scene were like, oh yeah, this is gonna explode with this much energy, and it's gonna leave this giant ass crater on the ground. No, because like, why would it, right? Like in the context of the scene, it makes sense for them to portray it the way they did. They just want to have big explosion and funny aftermath, and that's all there is to it, and that's fine. 4 kilotons is blowing up the town they're in.
Yeah.
So I would really like to know, I want to know once and for all if these were double checked, and I want to see the measurements. And let me say this: if they come out fine, and again, I don't claim to know everything about this, so maybe someone behind the scenes was like usually comes up with the best calcs ever, and this just happens to be a really weird one in presentation. Stop. And again, I'm just stupid. If that's the case, cool. I just don't understand how it gets that high and does that very little destruction. On the flip side, it's kind of interesting to me that they say Megamind's death ray could destroy mountains, and then they get it to like 100 tons of TNT by measuring the observatory as 6 meters tall. That 6 meters is about the size of a small house. That's ridiculously small. So how do they get from... okay, how do they go from a missile feat getting 4 kilotons when the town around them is completely fine, and then Megamind's death rate can destroy mountains, except it only gets to about 100 tons of TNT, which is blowing up multiple city blocks. Like that's not even blowing up a town. Like how are we getting that off of? Oh yeah, I can destroy mountains. And like it did, it blew up. You can see it. You can see the aftermath of the destruction in Button of Doom. There's a lot of destruction there. So like basically 100 tons is not blowing up a mountain. So I'm feeling some like conflict of information here. Like I don't that part I don't understand. And okay, to comment on the asteroid feat, this actually kind of leads into my main problem with this verdict as a whole. Is that there's a lot that isn't here. Like I would have like when it comes to like the asteroid feat or either one of their laser dodging feats, I would have been like, okay, if they're bad, I accept that. Tell me. Give me a black box saying, hey, these feats y'all like these feats y'all argued for, they're bad, stupid. I would be like, oh, okay. Like, tell me they're bad, tell me why. And I would have been like, okay. Like, at least it's, like, I don't know, even if I don't agree with it, at least it'll be something. But they don't.
Yeah.
Like, I would have 100% accepted a verdict or black boxes that told me that everything I argued for Megamind was awful. Like, it's a dumb argument. You're stupid for arguing this. I would be like, okay, at least you're saying something. But they don't. And I would like to know why. Especially when, like, the most they give Megamind for speed is dodging Electric Blast. To be clear, that part that part in the first place doesn't, like, in context, it doesn't super bother me. Like, they've been kind of lax on lightning versus electricity lately, so I'm glad they're at least like being a bit more strict on that. Because yes, there is a difference. Electricity is ludicrously slower. Unless it's through wire. Again, that's weird. I covered that last episode. Anyway, it is weird that they make it in the context of Lady Doppler, whose whole thing is weather, but okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
But, you know, at least it's something. You know, more standards are being put in. So I guess I can appreciate that to some degree. You know, some silver lining, I suppose. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I addressed it earlier. Main argument. The main thing we were talking about last episode was how Gru and the minions deal with the death ray. I guess if the ultimate argument is they just survive it, then, you know, okay, I guess that's fair. But then they go ahead and make the argument that Mel has a history of taking out satellites with a laser that can slice through the Earth. They didn't have to say that because they already said that they can just survive it. So okay, but since they said it, I'm gonna talk about it. Why do we not address that they would know how to do that? Why is that not in the? Why is this not in the conversation? Because, like, yeah, Mel did destroy a satellite at one point. Important note: it was indeed once, but he had absolutely no idea. A, he didn't mean to do that. B, he had no idea he was doing that. And C, that was when he had, like, no control over his power. Like, that was literally the first time he came out of the test tube or whatever it is. I don't know. That movie's dumb anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's just, like, they don't address how they would know. Like, okay, if you want to argue Mel taking out the death rate, that in itself isn't a problem. I just want to know how they would know to do that.
Yeah.
Because I have, like, the only way I can think of is, like, I don't know, if they're fast enough, maybe they'll be like, oh shit, we got something firing at us. Let's avoid the blast or survive it, I guess, in this case. And then, hey Mel, something fired at us from the sky. Can you take care of that real quick? But they don't. So, okay.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Richard, do you have anything to say on that before?
Yeah. I do agree with Bro. I think Bro brought up a good point. I don't understand where these calculations originated from. Like, Bro, I want to know, because again, if you're going to make such bold statements like this for an argument, you need to at least show us and present where this comes from, because then it gets harder for it to be believed. And what makes it worse is that I'm not going to go into it because I already raged about it when it happened. But the Death Battle fireside chat following this episode's release only made things worse when they came to the conclusion to tell us the real reason why they believe Megamind loses most of the time. And they just felt like they didn't want to go down this avenue in the finished episode. So once again, it's a Ben 10 versus Hal situation all over again. So, yeah. I agree with Bro. I think he hit all the major points, so I got nothing to add on to that.
Yeah. Alright. Well, in that case, I think I'll just say over. I don't know, because this whole conclusion feels like, I don't know. It just feels like, again, like we said, like, I think there are valid arguments for both sides winning here. It's just the avenues they took it down is just very confusing and convoluted, which definitely makes it disappointing.
Yeah, no,
but
I mean, it ain't good. I guess overall, like, yeah, to wrap up that as well, I think I don't think I'm alone in this, but this definitely feels like the weakest conclusion to the independent era, because they've been doing such a good job of trying not to fall into these trappings, like BrobusCast said, but they finally did it for this one. And to their defense, because Bro and ZDogg demonstrated in the prediction, this isn't exactly a clean-cut verdict. This really can go either way. It can go Gru's way, it can go Megamind. Honestly, you're not mistaken for going down the avenue you go down, and there's no fault in who you choose. It's just back it up. Actually present evidence that supports the argument, and that will at least inform us that, okay, we see and we hear that, and we get where you're coming from. Because that really is what Death Battle is supposed to be. It's supposed to explain this in a way that both casual and versus battle fans can understand. And when you just go casual with it, because that is what I think they did. They, like, we talked about it in Bakugo versus Reze, but now it feels like they doubled down with it here. This is the most casual episode that has ever been casual. It does not have any of the workings that a Death Battle episode puts into it. And it feels like they did fall into a big, giant trap. Like, there were avenues they could have gone, but they didn't. And I'm not happy with the end product. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, with that out of the way, how was the rest of the episode?
Well,
Well, I will say this is where 90% of my negative side kind of stops.
Right, yeah.
well,
I thought,
what are we talking? Well, I guess Mike, to make sure that I understand, what are we going to talk about now with this episode?
Do we want to talk about the rundowns?
Sure.
That's typically what we talk about next anyway.
yeah,
Alright.
They're
All right.
alright. I thought they were fine enough, honestly.
Gru's analysis sucked.
Okay, well,
There you go. Megamind wasn't much better, but it was acceptable and passable. My problems never lie in the editing. Editing's always good.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I'm not.
Again, the sky is blue, water is wet, it's cold outside. We've done the dance before. We can't praise the editing enough.
Depending on where you live, anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's hot as hell right now, so I guess the weather is hot.
Okay, so that's
but anyway, the editing is fantastic as always.
I do love for Megamind's sort of name tag. First of all, I don't know if I comment on this enough. I love when they do name tags. They're so cool.
Yeah, same. They're great.
They're
like,
all about.
the creativity that they have to come up with for the name tags is just amazing.
But I do love I love Megamind's going into his incredibly long epithet that he gives himself.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny. I mean, I did it, so so it's like, hey, you know what? We take those. It's referenced somewhere. It's referenced somewhere. Yay!
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought these analyses were fine. Like, they weren't like.
Okay.
I don't hate either one really. I guess there's some stuff here and there that I'm like, eh. Like,
I think my biggest complaint at least with Grooves, is how it feels like they kind of just shove aside most of the stuff with his family towards the end of the analysis, which I don't know. Like, I do feel like that was a bit questionable, but I mean, I get like, there's a lot to go over with the Gad stuff and obviously the Minions, but the Gorals are a very big part of his character, and I feel like that could have been elaborated on a little bit more.
To add on to that, I'm sorry. I understand that we have to do the versus thing. We have to cover the weapons, what they can do, all that, blah, blah, blah. But I hated how truncated this episode was, in the sense that it put the versus stuff first, then the story, then Gru's story, then it interrupted itself all of a sudden to talk about the Minions, then it just clumsily limped back to talking about Gru, and then it's over. Like, I do agree with ZDogg, and that is why I was as blunt as I was. This is probably the worst coverage of Gru you could have ever done, because you completely negated his family, his wife. Now, yes, and I'm just going to oversimplify it. They only covered Despicable Me 1 and Minions 1 in the rundown. They did not cover 2, 3, 4, or the second Minions movie. There were passing mentions of it, but it was not the main focus. And again, I get it. You have to take 4 movies and 2 spin-offs and try and get them to flow, but there is a way to do it, and if you have to compromise, then you should have just stuck to Despicable Me 1 and 2, and then the Minions movie, and Minions 2, because if you use 4 movies, it's much better.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, 3 and 4 don't really add a whole lot other than, hey, he has a brother and an actual kid, like a biological kid now, but also who cares?
Yeah, exactly. The third and the fourth one are very much nothing films in the grand scheme of things. I do agree. But, and again, if people like those movies, that is not me saying you're wrong. You are allowed to like what you like. I'm a champion of that. But, for the purposes of this, it felt like Gru got shafted, like, very much as a character, and I feel like this was just a poor way to do it. I still thought the rest of analysis was fun enough, though. It's fun, but okay. Again, as I've always said it out loud multiple times, the priority needs to be story and then versus. It can't just be versus stuff, because if we're going to do versus before the story, like, okay, example, it's notorious. But when you have when you go through the Steven Universe method, that I like to call it, where 10 seconds story, the rest of it versus, maybe some story segmented, sprinkled in here and there, but overall, it's not an analysis of the character. Again, okay, look, imagine if they just did that for Ash. Please tell me you would have accepted that you would have accepted the foregoing of Ash's journey, his story, everything that he had to go through to his character. Please tell me you, RobusCast, and everyone else would have been okay with them foregoing.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm not saying you should forgo it. I'm saying, like, I think it's a bit dangerous to say it should be a priority, though. I think there should be a blend, like a perfect blend. Obviously, perfect might be a dangerous word too, but
I agree.
But I like story coverage in my death battles, but I do agree it should be like, it is important to remember we are here to see the question of who would win in a fight answered. We're not just here to, like, if we were here for story coverage, we would have watched our movies.
This is true, yes, but again, we've said this before, and I like to make sure we stay in continuity with what we say, but we have said here on BrobusCast that Death Battle has and does have a tendency to treat this episode that they're doing as if it's somebody's first time being exposed to these characters. And that is why the story cannot be foregoed. I do agree that you can do a blend. I'm fine with compromising and doing a blend of the two. There are some of my favorite segments for characters that have done that. But as far as Gru's analyses goes, I will say that this is by far the worst analysis of the independent era because it did not do that. This is somebody's first time getting into Despicable Me, and as far as I'm concerned, I think Death Battle very much dropped the ball on introducing somebody into the world of Despicable Me. Because, again, let me be blunt and honest, nobody gives a flying shit about the versus stuff. Casual audiences are not here to see calculations, to know how much this mass is. Nobody wants to be in a class with a teacher blasting off math equations. Excuse me. Nobody wants that. They want to get to know these characters, and they want a reason to get into their franchises.
I'm not 100% sure I agree, but I'll let it go. I mean, Gru's analysis isn't like some cinematic masterpiece or anything, but I don't know. I thought it was all right. I thought it was like, yes, I do agree they could have gone a bit more into story. I'm not gonna disagree with that. But I think they did a fine enough job, especially if their priority for both of these guys is their first movies. Because let's be real, if you've seen both of them before, you've probably just seen their first movies, and that might be it.
Fair. Oh, well, I mean, that's fair, but then my immediate counter argument to that is, okay, fine, if we're just going to use the first movies, then Minions, and then the first Minions movies, here's a bright idea then. Don't include Megamind rules. Don't include any of the stuff that is included in Despicable Me 2,
Hold on. I didn't say they were not... I didn't say they weren't here at all.
No, I know. I'm not implying you did. It's just... It is... Okay, it is ironic that I'm getting this passionate about Gru's analyses and not Megamind's. I thought Megamind's was fine, but the irony is not lost on me that I've said it openly that I think Megamind is a better movie than the entirety of the Despicable Me movies, and yet here I am defending and coming to Gru's analysis defense by saying it could have been better, it should have been better, but I'm not doing that for Megamind. So I want it to be known that I'm not blind by that. I'm just overly passionate because, again, we asked for this episode. We we wanted it to be a certain way, and I feel like in that regard, I was let down by the end product. That's it.
Well, definitely be coming back to that later, but
yeah. Apologies if I did get a little overheated. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just, again, it's it's just I really love these two characters, and I want other people to love them like I do. Like, that's it. That really is it. It's just it's a passion, but I'll try and rein it in for now. I'll try and rein it in.
I will say my only real problem with Megamind's analysis is aside from aside from a couple weapons and the best speed feat they could possibly give him, I guess. Megamind Rules / Doom Syndicate kind of feels like it's here to get shat on. Like, it doesn't really do anything more than that. And it's like, I guess I mean, I get that y'all didn't like it, but come on now.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. You know what it is? It feels, and what's funny is that they've never really done that. They try not to do that. They very much try not to include the series or the movies that nobody likes. It's easy to talk crap about and shit on because they know that's not what people want. I mean, for God's sakes, Danny, of all people, didn't get that when they had him fight Poe. Like,
true.
Any
of all people.
Yeah, fucking Danny didn't even get that. And that just showed, like, okay, look, they respect Danny as a character to not bring up the obvious elephant in the room, that being his god-awful live-action Netflix series. They wanted to focus on Danny as he was in the comics. But I do agree with Bro. It's like, yeah, it kind of feels like for this episode, they decided to forego that decision and just now shit on Megamind Rules, which ZDogg brought it up earlier. I don't like that. Like, do we really need to bring... Okay, look, let me put it like this. Megamind Rules' dead corpse is right there. Do we really need to keep kicking it? Can we just let the poor thing go and just decayed? Do we have to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Like, the show's probably... Okay, look, we last episode, but we might as well say it again. The curse ain't helping ain't helping Megamind at all. The series is dead. The fucking series is dead. Megamind is not coming back. So, do we really need to keep doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. Aside from that, I thought his analysis was fine. And like I say, it's here to get shat on, but it's like it does have some stuff shown off that like isn't just there to get thrown to the wayside. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, like it's. And like again, I know they had to include the bit with the dehydration gun. They had to do it, so I'm just like, all right, fine, I'll accept it the one time. Yeah, but I don't know. It felt a little odd to me, but honestly, I could get past it. These analyses, they're not great, they're not perfect, but they are passable. That's my thoughts. They are passable.
Yeah,
one enough, in my opinion.
I know. I made the bold statements earlier, but at the end of the day, I'm going to agree with these guys. Like, it's just average. I guess
they get the job done. They are here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. They're very much like. Again, that does kind of go into why I made another statement calling this episode a season 1 or season 2, and that is what I mean by the end of the day. It just feels like it's here, it's passable, it does the job. Let's move on. That is what these analyses are here to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about that fight though?
Okay, all right. I'm gonna defend this animation like there's no fucking tomorrow. Uh,
All right,
Okay,
there
so
you go. We all have something good to defend about. There you
so
go.
hey,
yeah.
you know what's funny? You mentioned how it feels very season 1, season 2 ish. I kind of feel that way
Yeah.
about. I kind of feel that way about the fight, but in a good way.
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm just gonna say it. This animation feels like a Rooster Teeth era animation, and I cannot mean that in any higher compliment than I can because, yeah, they actually went all out for this episode.
oh
To
God.
try and, yeah, oh yeah, that's an understatement. What I just said is a massive understatement. I'm sorry, understatement.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna get the obvious out of the way on that note. Yeah, almost if not everything in this fight is custom in some way.
Yeah.
Luis went hard.
Luis went hard. That's for damn sure. Like even
Well-
if something wasn't like directly made by them, they still had to like custom rig it or paint it. Like
Yep.
Megamind's hover bike. I don't think the model itself is custom, but they had to paint
No.
But they had to paint
No.
over it.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Stop. So, okay. To bring that up, because again, I don't want as much as I love glazing my boy Luis.
That is true.
He did do a great job.
There's more people involved. That is true.
Yes, but in terms of that, Megamind's Cruiser and Bruce Cruiser were custom models built from the ground up by the oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. He was the one who did the Toonami style voiceovers.
Project
for Ash
Alpha.
Yugi. Yes, Project Alpha actually contributed a lot to this animation. It wasn't just Luis. Project Alpha revealed on his Twitter, you can go look it up. He revealed that a lot of the stuff that you see in the fight was custom made by him, I believe. So yes, those models were definitely not pulled from anything. They were made from the ground up.
Yeah,
And then of course, Christina came back too, by the way. Christina
Yeah.
is back again in
Yay.
helping out with the animation and the Viz post.
Yeah, and
Right.
Frank reminder of just how much there is in this fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and
Yeah.
So okay, let me say this, because this actually goes into my initial viewing of this episode.
Right.
In that when I first watched it, and I go into this in my reaction, but I enjoyed it, but I felt there wasn't a lot happening. Like it felt like a lot of it was focused a lot on the dialogue rather than the combat, and I felt a little let down by it. That was when I first watched it. It has been about 2 weeks since then. It's been more than 2 weeks since then, and I have more than warmed up to it by this point, especially knowing just how much actually does go on in this fight and how much had to be made for this. Like, you have both the characters' models, you have however the hell many minions there are, and Brainbots, and then Minion himself. You can all comment on how much Minion does, but honestly, given how much is going on already, the fact that he's here at all is kind of cool. Yeah, all their vehicles, all their weapons. Again, you can make the case for how much all of that actually shows up in the fight. Realistically, the fact that much of it is here at all should kind of go without saying. It should not be understated. And I especially have to talk about, we're probably jumping ahead significantly. Y'all probably want to talk about something beforehand, but screw it. I'm gonna get it out of the way right now. Megamind's presentation mech thing may be one of the most impressive things a death battle animation has done in a very long time.
Because my goodness, I can't imagine the hell it would have been to have all of those lined up in that exact formation.
Yes,
so
no,
fucking
okay.
good job, everyone there.
Yes,
And it was
no, please, everyone give flowers where they're due. That moment was, I didn't think much of it, but then when I rewatched it multiple times, and then I, of course, found out how many brain bots it took to make that. And bear in mind, they didn't just, because a lot of people kind of underestimate it and they don't really pay much attention, but they didn't just have the brain bots do the iconic presentation for Megamind's head, like in the movie. No, they decided to go even more in a harder direction. They decided, I don't know why they wanted to kill themselves over this, but hey, it looks fucking cool. They decided, instead of just recreating the BrainBot head of Megamind, hey, just have the BrainBots form into Megamind's whole body, from the head to the torso to the arms, even to the legs, because there's a shot later on with the Super Minions. You can see Megamind's legs, the BrainBot Megamind legs are touching the ground. How the hell? And why the hell did you guys decide to do that? It's cool. It's awesome. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the best achievements in this animation.
But
I was gonna say, like,
but why?
Yes, exactly. But why? But why though? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's crazy is that, again, this feels like something they could have actually done if this was supported and funded by Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing y'all need to remember. Yeah, they could have easily done. They could have. Well, maybe not easily. Let me back up for a second. They could have done this when under Rooster Teeth. They're not under Rooster Teeth anymore. They're doing this shit by themselves. I think it's super easy to forget at this point, especially given all of the like peaks we got with 25.
Yeah.
Like, okay, actually, that's an interesting point we need to talk about. Y'all need to start maybe lowering your expectations. Sounds a bit derogatory, but temper them.
Going more, temper your expectations. Going with an open mind.
I think the problem with this episode and with Bakugo vs. Reze, or from like the community's like all the community responses, was I think everybody saw fights like Bowser vs. Eggman, Dante vs. Clive, Ruby vs. Maka, Ash vs. Yugi. Like they saw
Blade versus Buffy.
I didn't want to say that because it's live action, but sure.
I think, okay, not in terms of animation, real quick. Not in terms of animation, but just in terms of what they can do outside of it.
I guess. It's just they saw everything they did for 24-25 and thought, oh, now every episode needs to be like that, right? Exactly. I think we're at a point where, like, again, between this episode and between this episode and Bakugo vs. Reze, like, I can't help but feel like we're at a point where the community just can't accept just good anymore.
No, it has to be.
We're spoiled, yeah. Really?
Yeah, spoiled. No,
we are definitely spoiled.
And again, 24, we talked about this before. 24 was a preview. 25 was the real deal. This is the continuation.
Yes.
And this is how things are going to go. But yes, I do agree. Not every episode needs to be great. I can deal with an okay episode, but just because it's okay doesn't mean it's bad. It just means if it has to be if it has to be more grounded in its overall approach, that's fine. Like, okay, best example. If we have to get a if we have to get a Doom versus Master Chief or a Hulk and or a Ruby versus Maka and a Hulk versus Godzilla, I'm fine with that because not every damn episode, like BrobusCast said, it doesn't have to be like Timon versus Kyle, Ash versus Yugi, Dante versus Clive, Bowser Eggman. We don't need that. We just need the episodes to be good, and that's it. We don't need to be spoiled, for God's sakes.
Yeah, if I can, realistically, if I can just like kick back in my chair, cross my legs, all sassy and shit, hold my arms up and be like, "Yep, this shit's good stuff." I'm chilling. I'm living my best life.
Exactly.
Have a little fun.
Have a little fun. Yeah. We're at a point where it's like it's either peak or it's bad. Like there's no middle ground. Like I feel like people look at this episode, look at Bakugo versus Reze, look at I don't know Miles versus Deku, look at Kratos versus Asura, and be like, this shit wasn't peak, therefore it's bad. And it's like, but that's not that's not how that works though.
No. I mean, even in the Rooster Teeth era, there were episodes that also weren't on that consistent level. I mean, shit, especially season 10. Like season 10 literally starts from the bottom and has to work its way up to the more epic moments. But I do agree. I'm okay, even if I don't like them. I'm okay with episodes like Bakugo versus Reze, Deku versus Miles, and Gru versus Megamind because I don't need the animators to kill themselves for my enjoyment.
I was gonna say, as long as they give it the best they got, and
quite honestly, like
I'm cool with that.
Quite honestly, with this fight in particular, like yes, there's a lot more they could have done, or there's stuff they could have done differently. Quite honestly, I don't know what they could have done differently. That's just not adding another custom model to it. Like you could probably take out a bunch of the minions or whatever. You could probably take out that one Mega Minion scene and put it but then the alternative is I don't know, put in Megamind's Titan mech. But that's another custom model they gotta. That's a more complicated custom model they gotta do. So it's like.
I was gonna say, so because your own mate and I talked about this, and he very much said the same thing on Lads, and you know, I'm just gonna be honest, guys. After the episode, the animation has sat with me. I'm just gonna say this. I'm okay that we didn't get the Black Mamba or the Metro Man suit. Would I have liked to see them? Would I have liked to have seen them? Yes. I would have. I think BrobusCast would have. I think ZDogg would have. I think everybody would have. But we have to ask ourselves, is it really worth their frustration by having to now create another model from scratch? And they were already pushing their limits with this because this isn't no disrespect to the animation, but you can tell that this episode was literally them pushing themselves. Like this episode is basically okay, we've hit the ceiling. You can't go any higher. The sky is no longer the limit. We're at our limit, and this is what you got to deal with. I'm fine with that. I really am.
Yeah.
I think we could get half of this shit from like we used to when we were under the Rooster Teeth era. But they proved me wrong.
Yeah, honestly, even under the Rooster Teeth era, even under Rooster Teeth, if you had told me that Megamind's brainbot projection was over like 42,000 brainbots, I would have been like, bro, you are insane. Like even under Rooster Teeth, I would never have expected that. And then they just casually drop a tweet being like, oh yeah, this is how many brainbots were a part of this thing. I'm just sitting here like, huh? What do you mean? I thought, no, real talk, when I saw that for the first time, I thought it was just them upscaling Megamind's model and just adding a bunch of like effects and filters and shit. And then they get in close, like when it's got Gru in its hand, then they could zoom in and they got some brain bots there. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I thought it was, and that, and I was like, you know what? It still looks cool, and that's really at the end of the day all I care about. And then they just drop this, and I'm like, oh, so you took what I already thought was really impressive and just decided, hey, we're gonna blow your mind even further. We're independent, by the way. In case you forgot.
Collecting all the money from the Kickstarter.
We're like near the end of all the episodes funded on the Kickstarter. We're like, we still got Aang versus Traveler, I know, but there's still like what, 3 episodes left that are funded that we don't know about. I think something like that.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
We're near the end, so we're obviously at this point. I feel like we're like, obviously we still got some Kickstarter stuff, so like obviously, but we're at a point now where I think we are starting to get into like relying on members, sponsors, super chats, all that kind of stuff. So like going into all that and then having like almost, if not every single model being custom built from the ground up, and then having a shit ton of brain bots and a shit ton of minions on screen at the same time. It's like, bro, we're about to go like indie. What are we doing? Now, the obvious drawback to all this custom shit and all that is that, yes, we don't get a super big ton of combat.
No, and maybe we did kind of overhype ourselves a little bit by thinking this could be the new 2026 version of Bowser versus Eggman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I first watched the episode, like I said before, when I first watched the episode, I too was kind of like, there doesn't feel like there's a lot going on, because a lot of it is talking. A lot of it is talking or minion shenanigans. But honestly, the more I've let it sit with me, the more I'm kind of okay with it. Like, would I have liked more combat? Sure. But if the main focus was getting their like humor down, like this is a fight that focuses a lot on expressions. Like, say what you will.
Oh yeah.
Say what you will about the models, and I'm sure you've all said them.
But god dang, are they expressive?
They are very, they are very expressive.
Oh my god.
Like, holy crap! Okay. I don't want to make this sound mean, but this is more expression. There's more expression in this episode with these models than there was in Dante versus Clive.
Yeah.
Not wrong. I love that fight, but yeah, you're not wrong.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
But yeah, this fight focuses a lot on. Funnily enough, given what Richard was talking about with the analyses, but this fight focuses a lot on the characters rather than their arsenals.
Yeah, I know. So it's almost like this animation is like, hey. It's okay. Look at me.
We got
Put your
you.
hand on my shoulder. We got you. I was like, oh, thank you.
And quite honestly, I'm like, I mean, I was a little disappointed at first, but I'm kind of okay with it. It helps that it helps that the dialogue that is there is really good.
Yes, I agree. Like, okay, look, we're gonna get into that later, but if there's one thing with this animation that I do have to criticize, and it's something I don't like that it just opens up with them already going after each other. I would have liked this to maybe have gone a different direction, but again, if that is really what we must work with, then I can accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of it is like I would have done this differently, and it's like, well, great. How much are you willing to sacrifice for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that means that this episode would have had to have been an extra minute, and they already did that last year. So
Yeah.
safe to assume they can't always do that, as cool as it would be.
Yeah. But yeah, if the priority was to get their characters down and get the have some fun interactions, that part I think they nailed.
Yes, I actually think that the interactions in this are probably what bolted this episode in such high regards, for me personally.
Yeah. And honestly, if this was any other episode, I might have been a bit more harsh on the lack of combat. But it's Gru and Megamind. Like at the end of the day, like we talk about how cool their arsenals are, but they are kind of goobers.
Yeah, a little bit. They very much are goofy characters, and yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me what do I want to see, I want to see I want to see this episode's animation be faithful to the movies.
Yeah,
and they did.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have some favorite lines that I'll get into later for acting, but yeah.
Mhm.
Also, in my opinion, also yes. Do I agree? Do I think that it would have been nice to see Minion actually Old Chum be there? Yeah, it would have been nice, but again, we've already gone over this. So the capacity he was allowed to be in for this episode's animation, I'll take it. I mean, it's better than not having him at all, like RobusCast said.
yeah.
I mean, I'll based on what I've heard, it sounds like Minion's model was also a bitch to work with. So
There you go.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah,
you know.
I can definitely see it because, okay, no offense, but Minion / Old Chum's model, it looks like it doesn't blend in all that well with Gru and Megamind's.
Well, then it helps that they're not on screen together.
Yeah, I agree. Which again, because I can tell that, like it feels like he's not as shaded. Again, maybe it's just the lighting. He definitely feels like he's a Nintendo Week model character.
Yeah, I know a lot of people commented on the lighting on this episode, but I don't know. I didn't, but like again, it kind of gave me some like early, maybe not early, like some season 2, season 3 vibes. I think a few of our friends even like made a comparison to, of all fights, Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, I made that comparison in the last episode. I literally said that.
Yeah, and now that I've heard that comparison, I rewatched this episode and I'm like, huh.
You can't unsee it.
I can't unsee it.
It feels like it is.
Oh no.
It feels like, okay, it feels like it's animated in the same vein on how Torian animated Jak and Daxter versus Ratchet and Clank. It feels very cartoonish. Like,
yeah.
It's not a... Now, granted, the lighting... I would say that the lighting in this is far better than Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that there's actual proper lighting to begin with, whereas Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank's animation was... It was very flat looking.
what 10 years does?
Yeah, exactly. It does help that we got a 10-year glow up.
Well, 10 years in a team does to you.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, and I still mean that. This feels like it was a blast from the past episode.
Yeah.
I
Like,
definitely agree.
this is it's funny. This actually, like, it kind of feels like it's tying into the fact that this was like requested for ages.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound like a backhanded compliment, because I don't mind what they did in that. For the record, I don't mind what they did in that episode, but this, I don't know how better to say it, so I'm just gonna go out with it.
Hold the pen out, man.
This
Hold the pen out.
this feels like trying to emulate the style of like the older seasons, kind of in a similar vein as like Cole versus Alex did.
Yeah.
But it just it got its and this is not a shade towards Cole versus Alex, but this episode kind of got its priorities straight. At the very least, it knew better what to do with that mindset. And again, this is not. I'm not trying to diss Cole versus Alex. I love that episode, but
Same.
But yeah, if you're gonna do a sort of like blast from the past, get like earlier style, like both with like the analyses and the fight animation, this is kind of how you do it. Obviously, it's still not perfect in that regard, but it's it gets an idea across. I don't know if this was Luis's plan, by the way, but if it wasn't, then this sounds like the most like backhanded compliment ever. But I still like it, so.
That's so positive. So. It's still.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So I don't really have much else to say, so I'm just gonna cut straight to the end. This death is funny. Y'all need to get a sense of humor.
No, look.
I do really like how the death was handled here, because
look. And I get it. Not what other people would have done, but
you know,
at the end of the day,
you know, I say that I've actually seen.
it.
I say that I've actually seen more people say they like it more than dislike it, but I've seen some
yeah.
stuff.
No, I have too, but no, and also it shows that they really are fans of both these characters, because having Megamind's death be in the exact same way that quote unquote Metro Man's death was done, I think is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Gru killed a person.
Yeah. It's so funny because like in the moment you're like because Gru absolutely intended to use the dehydrate setting.
Yeah, he did.
It's like you see you're like we're all expecting that to come out. Like the second he pulls the trigger, Megamind's about to get turned into an ice cube. Okay,
Nope.
that's what we're all expecting to happen, and then all of a sudden it's just like oh, he's a skeleton now. How did that happen?
Yeah.
It's a mix of like it's confusion. It's sudden because like for two like more like family friendly kid like characters, all of a sudden, hey, we got a goddamn skeleton on screen. Hello.
Yeah.
I think it's the right way to do a kill for an episode like this. Honestly, like it has a bit of dark humor to it, but
yeah. But it's like
it still is in line with like the fact these are kids movies.
Yeah.
Like there's not
exactly, which I do love.
Any flash or anything.
Yeah, but it's also
like
It's probably the best. Yeah.
And what I do love is that it's the reaction after that. Like,
yes,
this real
one of the
kills Megamind. He holds the gun in a very disgusted, kind of dirty manner, and he just drops it, and he's just like, "Oh, my work is going to kill me." It's like, because he just. Again, it's literally, this is showing my age, and I don't even know if you two have seen it, but it's literally the Anchorman scene of, wow, Gru killed a guy? Yes, I shot him. Yes, Gru, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should probably hide out somewhere for a couple of days, stay with your mother, because I'm pretty sure you're wanted for murder.
Yeah, but it's like the second you realize what actually happened, like once you see it set on this disintegrate instead, it's like, oh, and like the realization sits in,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're just laughing. If you're not laughing, get a sense of humor.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Because again, it comes out of nowhere, and it's a great twist. And again, this kind of goes back to my compliments of this feeling like a early Rooster Teeth era episode or end of Screw Attack era episode, where it has a little bit of dark humor to it. Which
Yeah.
which by the way, and if you don't believe me, go back and watch some of the season 2 and season 3 episodes. They had some very dark humor in them from time to time. I mean, shit. They could be downright cruel. Pokemon versus Digimon.
I was literally just about to say, man, poor Red.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of love this animation for kind of making me remember. It's like, oh, Death Battle used to be like this a long time ago. I love it.
Now I do want to say, going back to my comment about, oh, there's a skeleton on screen for these kid characters. I know some smartass in the comments is gonna be like, oh, but Megamind had Metro Man skeleton. The difference here is that Megamind actually died.
Yeah, no, well, okay, it's not even, yeah, exactly, because and it's also kind of ironic, because Megamind actually dies, whereas Metro Man faked his death by using a prop skeleton.
Yeah, like
Well, shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be like, you know, oh my god, cover your eyes, hide the children over the skeleton prop in the Megamind movie, then y'all need to get some thicker skin. This time, however, it's like, oh, there's a skeleton and it's actually a skeleton. This man is actually dead. What the hell happened? And then you look at it, you see what happened, and it's like, oh, okay, now it's funny. Now I'm laughing.
So this episode has officially given me this idea. Somebody needs to make an edit where just before the shot goes off at Megamind, that you just cut to Deadpool versus Deathstroke. All the children in the audience, cover your eyes.
Yeah. Also, I do want to comment because I actually watched the boards for this episode. I think the way they presented it, for the record, for the most part, the boards are exactly the same, which isn't really a surprise at this point, but it's a comment I have to make. But the main difference is how they present this particular part, because in the full episode, in the final product, Megamind is very like nonchalant about like his realization, because obviously he thought, like, okay, so he thought Gru was a villain chasing him, and Gru thought that he was chasing a villain. That's our setup, and that works. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's the hook.
Once Megamind finally realizes, oh wait, you're not a villain. You think I'm a villain. He's like super chill. I was about to say smug, but he's not smug at all. He's, like I said earlier, kind of nonchalant about it, and then he just dies. The boards are, if I remember correctly, I might have seen it wrong, but the boards kind of felt like Megamind was kind of like panicking. They're like, wait, this is a misunderstanding. Hold on, and then he dies. I so prefer how the episode did it.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because it adds to the sort of like,
it's in character for Megamind.
It is in character, but it also adds to the sort of abruptness of it all. Because Megamind was totally like, he heard dehydration gun. It's like, oh well, you're gonna shoot me, but I'm gonna be all right, I guess. Like I know some people are gonna some people probably have commented like, "Why aren't you moving, you dumbass?"
Yes, people
but-
have said.
But it's like again, he thinks he's gonna be all right. They're probably gonna take it. Like his adversary is probably sent here, under false information or whatever. He knows what his D gun is capable of, so he hears dehydration, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be dehydrated. So once I get rehydrated, I'm gonna explain everything, and everything will be all great. The expectation was not to be like, hey, this is a misunderstood dead.
Dead.
Phillips.
Whoopsie.
I guess really the only thing I wish was there, but again, this is a lot of adding stuff to an already bloated fight, is like, I kind of am wondering what Minion's reaction is now.
Yeah, that is
Yeah. No. Okay. So that is my other criticism.
Just
That
stay
is-
silent.
That is my other criticism of this. I really feel like having Minion there now just is like, well, you've kind of created a bit of a problem for this episode, because I don't think Minion's gonna just take that, seeing his best friend, his brother that he was sent to protect. I don't think he's gonna be okay with him just now being dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, this is very much, you know what it is? This is very much a Tanjiro versus Jonathan situation, where
Yeah.
you could literally just make fan fiction of, okay, so Minion will go to avenge Megamind. Gru is obviously going to be mortified that he just killed somebody.
Yeah. For the record, this is not me trying to be like this is not a complaint that I have. I'm just curious. Like it's more of like a curiosity thing now. Like I don't act
Yeah.
like the episode doesn't give you Minion's reaction because you kind of don't need it.
No, not.
And honestly, I feel like if they had added it, it might have killed the pace the ending was going for.
Maybe a little, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not upset that it's not here. I'm just now like I now have the question in my mind, like what, like, because Minion was there, he was watching everything, so how's he gonna react? But
Yeah.
the episode doesn't seem to care about that fact, so I won't either.
Yeah. Again, I do understand. I didn't like that either. There are so many plot holes for this, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's fine. It's fine. I've lived with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, it's not hurting the episode in any way. It's just,
Nah.
it would have been nice, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would have killed the base either way, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Any
I mean,
favorite?
on the topic of Minion, I know a lot of people have talked about how his scenes feel like shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like especially once Megamind's presentation thing comes out, we're cutting straight to Minion, and there's some stuff happening on his screens, but we're not really focused on them too much. One recreates an Evo moment, and that's kind of funny.
Yeah, you get to see our first ever. Hey, so Minion kind of got to play the role of a death battle reactor.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I personally thought it was a fun way. Like, obviously, we're not showcasing everything going on in this fight. It was a tall task in itself. But I don't know. I thought like having him react to some of the mayhem going on screen. I thought that was a fun way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a shortcut, but at the same time, what of it? Like, there's already like, do you expect them to animate that entire 42,000 brain bot thing in like a full. Like I imagine the one that was on the screen was probably like an effect or something. If I mean if I'm wrong, then sorry, but I don't imagine that was like the big guy that we see in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's a shortcut, but I don't know. What do you want? Don't answer that. I know what you want, but what do you expect?
Yeah.
They're not gonna yes, they animated that thing for a grand total of maybe 5-10 seconds, but do you want to animate a giant mech made entirely out of tiny little brain bots? That's not a model. That's the brain bots lined up to look like a model.
Yeah.
So hey, if you want to animate that, then go crazy, I guess. Until then, I know it's a cop-out answer, but shut up.
Yeah.
I know it's such a big cop-out thing. Like, oh, you only like if you think it's bad, then why don't you do it? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people don't. I guess because it's portrayed as such a childish counter argument.
A little bit.
But also it's kind of true. Like, I don't know. Could you legitimately could you have done any better? I'm genuinely curious. I think I made this comment about Metal Overlord in Cell vs. Metal Sonic. Working with that model, I just knocked something off my desk. God damn it. Working with that giant ass model with a lot of moving parts, I don't know. The fact that it was there at all is kind of a miracle. Now we have this, and now we have even more of a miracle. So, it sounds stupid and it sounds childish, but legitimately, please do it yourself before you say anything.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just had to pick up that thing off my desk.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I agree. We should probably move on to. All right. Let's. One more thing before we move on. Can we please put it to bed? Please. The Gru model is not that bad once you get used to it. I said it.
It's really just the first shot.
Yeah.
The very first time we see the Gru model, it looks freaking weird.
Yeah, but everything else, the rest is fine. I think it's fine. I think it looks good. And
yeah,
again, like I said, like with the Megaman model, Tuzo, the team made it very expressive and very fun to watch through all this stuff. That's all you need.
Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like Gru hasn't eaten in days, but I can live with it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to his models that do exist, let me just say, I'm glad we got this one instead.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Do we want to move on to the voice acting, real quick?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm gonna be blunt. If you have an issue with the voice acting, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what to tell you, because I honestly think these guys are great.
Okay, I think the highlight here is Keston Howard's Gru, because he killed it as Gru.
Yeah.
He was
I think he's like the best person you could have got because he sounds like spot on to how Steve Carell does in the movies, and
Yeah,
I give you props for that.
I give you credit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
would
solid.
say.
I do find it funny. I said this last episode, but I do find it funny that Keston seems to find himself in the weirder roles, like the fun, like the not jokey roles, but like the funnier hamming it up roles, like going from Captain Falcon to Machamp to Mickey to Super Friends Aquaman and now Gru. Like this dude's got the this dude's got the I can't believe you play these characters resume.
He's trying to match Tom Shulk, which is kind of ironic considering the last time he was on the show he fought Tom Shulk.
Yeah, Ronnie mentioned that.
Yeah. No, but okay, look, I'm gonna be honest. I thought his Gru voice was pretty damn good. It was as good as they could find. I know a lot of people probably are like, oh, but it doesn't sound exactly like Steve Carell. Guys, Steve Carell can't even do that voice
I was about
anymore.
to say, brother, Steve Carell doesn't even sound like Steve Carell. Like,
no, like
the
after
frick
the
you
first,
mean?
like this kind of gives me Despicable Me 2 vibes. Like it feels like Keston was going for the Despicable Me 2 Gru voice.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, I really do love the delivery of, well, life is full of disappointments. I thought that was pretty well done. I love the idea of Gru being the straight man to Megamind's wacky fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
It was very well done. And I also, oh wait, crap. There was another moment I wanted to mention in the animation, but okay, fuck it. I love another moment I love that I just laughed at is Gru just grabbing the laser minion at the last second to fire.
Yeah.
To try and slow down the death ray. But although fun fact, when I first saw that, I thought he was just grabbing the that minion to use as a human shield. Minion shield! Oh, but anyway, yeah. Also, I thought that the end with him shouting, let me show, this is how you do it, dehydration gun, like him shouting it, I was like, all right, Keston, calm down. You don't need to go this hard. Yeah, I'm so happy Keston got to come back.
Yeah, he was solid.
He was.
And he killed it, in my opinion.
Yes. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
But
and now we have fun delivery of fun dialogue, and we got Corey Wilder as Megamind. And dude, if there's any, I know it's not 100% Will Ferrell, but God, it's so fun.
It's kind of okay. It may not be Will Ferrell, but it definitely was pushing it close.
Yeah.
Corey, especially the opening line. And here I thought it was the heroes that chases the bad guys. That one sounded like it was done like how Will Ferrell would deliver it, and then another one that sounded almost like Will Ferrell, like I can hear it in the delivery, was the minion, I'm going to need a new pair of pants.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's almost matching that Will Ferrell energy. Okay, that's pretty good. And then but if you asked me, I think I think what Corey was truly trying to compete with was the actor who plays Gru in Megamind Rules. I'm sorry, Megamind and Megamind Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could totally hear that.
Yeah.
Also, I love that Megamind actually got to do the presentation.
There you
Yeah.
go. He actually got to do it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now, the question that I still battle with every night before I go to bed: which do I prefer, Zatanna's delivery of that line or Megamind? I still can't decide.
Well, we'll let you keep doing that.
Oh,
I think what
yeah, Corey was great.
sticks out to me for Corey is
Yeah,
his sort of like analysis of Gru while like obviously still fighting, but he's like seeing what Gru's pulling out. He's seeing his minions in the back. He's seeing his outfit. It's like, yeah, if anybody's a super villain, it's this guy.
Yeah.
I love that, and I do love him in the Meg. You dare challenge Megamind. I don't know. He I don't want to say he hams up the performance, but you could tell he's having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I also love him imitating Gru.
Oh yeah, no, that was my favorite moment. Like Corey getting to do a exaggerated Gru accent was kind of funny.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I kind of hope he comes back.
Yeah, I'd be
same.
down.
Yeah, very solid first performance for the show.
Yes. Oh, and how could we forget? We have 2 more actors to talk about.
We do.
Indeed we do. Which one?
I mean, I guess old chum, since he doesn't have that many lines.
I guess.
Or he
Sure.
doesn't have... Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, we actually know who it is. It's Colin Nelson is the name. Know who that is? You probably don't because he's actually kind of just starting out.
Yes, but hey, Mr. Nelson, I think you did a pretty good job capturing the spirit of David Lee Cross.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but you didn't get obviously. While he didn't get as many lines, the ones he performed were pretty good. Definitely.
Yeah.
I get the David vibe.
Yeah.
From the movie. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. Moving on. All right. Then there's the minions, which. All right. We said it last time. I'm gonna say it again. Luis, are you okay? Do you need help? Because why did you choose to voice all of the minions?
Oh my god. It's like why? I still like. I'm still confused why, but also I'm laughing so.
Bro, but as the more the maybe their first lines were kind of like but like the more the fight goes on, the more I'm like, wait, why? Like, are you sure this is Luis?
Yeah.
Like, god damn it sure doesn't sound like him.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. He kind of disappears into the role. Now, I did see a lot of people compare and say that Luis's voice for the minions sounded like it wasn't really much doing the dialect that the minions do, and more of it's all, which it is funny because I know Luis has seen Smiling Friends. It almost sounds like he's just doing the character Gleb, like the.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely not doing like minionese, but at the same time, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's like I can't unhear that now. I'm like, I kind of wanted to just say, Luis, read this dialogue, like just do a random Gleb impersonation. I was like, okay, yeah, I thought so. I do want to know. It's like what was his like again? B-roll. Come on. I swear, your members will thank you for it, bro. I want to see.
Oh my god, I want to do it so bad.
I want to see so many takes of Luis just trying to do the minion dialect with a straight face.
man.
Bro, voice acting B-roll. I am in love with like behind the mic
Same.
videos on YouTube. I watch that shit all the time. I want it for the show.
Me too.
One day.
Yeah.
Put it up for at this point. Put it up for members. It'd be easy membership content.
Yeah. Yes,
Exactly.
it would. It very much would. I would love it. I know they have those files. Damn it! Like, just release them. If you don't have in-camera footage of them doing the voice, that's fine. But maybe you can just release the files, like in a compilation for each character for each episode. That would just be nice. I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so fun. I can tell Luis was having a blast, and the few English dialects he speaks, like the righty boss, I thought that was pretty good. I think Luis just killed it as the minions, and also, if we're going off it by this, Luis has voiced more characters than the entire Death Battle crew combined, because he got to voice a whole army of minions.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck catching up to them.
Yeah, right.
Catching up to Louise now.
Yeah, like before it was Liam setting the bar with the amount of voices he can do. Now it's like, okay, no, now it's Luis, because Luis literally was like, I want to voice all the minions. Like, you mean just like one or two, right, Luis? All of the minions. Yeah, no, solid voice acting all around. I loved it.
Yeah, very solid. I like.
Yeah. And then there's the soundtrack, which is
Passable.
certainly a soundtrack. All right.
Despicable Minds, it exists. I'll
Yeah, it
say
exists.
that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a good background, but it's kind of weird on its own. That's
yeah, okay.
Which, to
the
be-
one moment,
To be fair, I kind of expected as much, so this doesn't really come as a
Yeah.
surprise to me.
I mean, there are moments where Gru's theme kind of creeps in a little bit, but
Yeah, you
that's
get-
about it.
the sound in the soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for a vocal track because, again, Megamind's entire soundtrack in the first movie is just AC/DC, Michael Jackson, and Ozzy Osbourne tracks. So, would have liked a little bit of that energy for this.
Meh.
Oh well.
We
I
got,
mean, the dubstep moment
got-
was nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got what we got, and that's fine.
it works. It sounds fine enough.
Yeah,
Only
Yeah.
thing, admittedly, I do kind of agree because I know Griff brought this up when watching the episode for the first time. It does get a little repetitive during the conclusion, but I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
but you
I'm,
can do it.
honestly,
So
I'm
whatever.
I'm barely paying attention to the track in the conclusion
Same.
anyway. So,
I mean, look. I mean,
I mean,
We
I think I
have-
could help it, like, especially during the dubstep part, but whatever.
yeah.
yeah,
We had to get at least one okay track. I mean, because
I mean,
Soul
considering-
Outsider and Metal and Cells tracks kind of set the bar for this year when it comes to the fight tracks.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I thought it was fine. It works in the fight, and that's really all it needs to do.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's all I can say
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts?
Overall, okay, let me say this. I don't want to sound like you're not allowed to dislike an episode. Like that part in itself is not a big deal. I think we need to reach a point where y'all need to maybe lay off a little bit. because I think we're getting to a point where some people are being critical just for the sake of being critical, and at that point, I feel like you run the risk of watching getting into something kind of expecting to not like it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's what everybody's doing, but we're reaching, like, I feel like some people are reaching some pretty dangerous territory with how they critique a death battle. I feel like once you really step back and think about it, what you're putting all of your hard work to critiquing is a dumb internet show that has a premise that is basically the equivalent of banging two action figures together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I have I have a bunch of action figures on my desk right now. You can hear me. I'm banging them together.
Yeah, you are banging.
This is what Death Battle is. This is what Death Battle is essentially. Are you gonna start sending a bunch of critiques my way now?
My God.
Anyway.
We're
Again.
not topping that, by the way. We are not topping that. We're kind of BrobusCast has peaked for the year. Good night, everybody. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna follow that, but hey, next episode maybe we'll try.
Again, I'm not saying like the intent, like people are intentionally going into a fight expecting to hate it. Some people I think are doing it. What's the word I'm looking for? I was gonna say consciously, but that makes it sound like it's intentional, which is it's not intentional. It's like a reflex. You've critiqued a bunch of episodes at this point. You found something to talk shit about in other episodes. I don't know. And now it's just like you're doing it for every episode at this point. I don't know if that's your intention, but if it's not, you maybe need to watch yourself a little bit.
If I may, I think it's, I do think it's good that a lot more people are having a more critical eye towards Death Battle in some cases.
Sure.
But again, I do think a lot of people need to step back and just admit something is just fun to be fun.
Yeah.
Which I definitely think this episode does pretty well. Sure. With how big of a episode request this was, having sky high expectations, might have shot it in the foot a little bit, but
yeah,
I don't know, I still think there's a lot of fun to be had in this episode, and more people need to see that. Yeah, it's not perfect. I think we've cleared that, and, the analyses could have been better. The conclusion definitely could have been better. It's still a fun time.
It's still fun, and honestly, if you can give me that, then you've succeeded as an episode.
Exactly.
That's I can bring up some critiques here and there. I could talk about how this aspect of the episode was bad or whatever. I could do that. I have done that. But at the end of the day, as long as it's fun, I'm chilling. And I had fun with this episode. So yeah, is it going to be like top of the leaderboard? No, but
no.
I don't. I think we as a community need to not have that in mind. Don't go into every episode expecting a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.
I was gonna say it really happens by default again. Past seasons.
Yeah.
Or years.
Yeah, you might get that. You have a likelihood of getting that, but you might not. And I think some episodes that maybe don't get that are kind of now thrown under the radar, and I think that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, especially when
Well, either
Like,
either that.
they don't-
Well,
they don't look. Yeah,
they're either thrown under the radar or they're still on the radar, but just to get shat on.
yeah. Like again, I don't know.
You are definitely going to
And-
see me, a bit of a teaser. You're definitely going to see me talking about this again when we do our ranking for 24-25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yes. So I forgot. I was muted. I apologize. Oops. Whoopsie. So I know that I do agree. I can and always will agree with what you're laying down. I know I harped on this episode and I said things that have been said. I'm not taking those things back because I'm a man who stands by his convictions and has integrity. But that being said, when I say those things, it's not out of malice. It's not with toxic venom in my voice. It's because I just want this episode to be the best it can be. That is why I have a more critical tone, and that is why I say the things that I say with more of a blunt hammer effect to them. And I can confidently say that this is not the worst episode I've ever seen. This episode was not intended to be the worst episode. It was just intended to be made because the fans wanted it. The crew loved doing it. Did they say some things that we don't agree with the conclusion and the reasoning? Yes. But that being said, BrobusCast kind of hit the nail on the head that made me had a eureka moment. The problems that I have with the analyses are immediately fixed in the animation. So it's a double-edged sword episode. And for that matter, I'm fine with it. I will have words too. I will not say where this will be in my 26th ranking, but I will say this. I can actually rewatch this episode just for the animation. And if I can do that, well, then the episode did something good.
Yeah.
There you go. Honestly, I won't lie. Not gonna go too far into it. I do legit think the fact this was like such a highly requested matchup, and people's gripes with the conclusion are probably why this unfortunately is getting the short end of the stick when it comes to fan reception, and not in terms of views, because in terms of views, it's popping the hell off.
Oh yeah.
But like,
Yeah, it's almost at 2 million now.
yeah, damn, jeez. Well, good, yeah, good for it. But I don't know. I do think that like I said, the combination of what I said before is kind of.
I think it probably doesn't help. Maybe this is a generalization. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but it being an army battle, I feel like people are like, "Oh, this is gonna be like the next
That's
Bowser
cool.
versus Eggman."
Yeah, I was like people hyping it up as the next Bowser Eggman.
Yeah.
Which didn't help.
It's like, yeah, you can do that, but remember, this isn't Bowser versus Eggman. This is Guru versus Megamind.
It as its own thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every episode is treated as its own thing. I think we as a community, and I'm gonna throw all three of us in this too. We need to step back and realize, like, we make a lot of comparisons to other episodes, and that in itself isn't like the worst thing ever. It's when we're like, oh, this episode can do this thing just like this other episode did. It's like, okay, it could, but why would it? Because it's this episode. We're talking about Gru vs. Megamind. We're not doing Bowser vs. Eggman again. We're not doing Ash vs. Yugi again. This is its own thing. This is its own project. We need to treat it as such. And I think if we as a community can do that, and then also just accept that things can be just good. Like, they don't have to be 10 out of 10s. We can get 7s. We can get 8s.
Yeah.
Hell, we can get 6s. They're not the greatest things ever, but they exist, and they're not the worst things ever.
Yes,
we can get them. And then
yes,
we can get them and we'll be fine. Brother, if you think this episode is bad, you all would not have survived the earlier days of this show.
I was gonna say
no, I
mention this
agree.
earlier. They would not.
we
They
have-
would have been suffocating during season 3. My God.
Yeah, no, like, look, y'all are not ready. Y'all think you know bad death battle episodes. You have not been around the block as long as the three of us have. We had to go through bad episodes that were 5s sometimes.
Yeah.
And they were, no, we even had episodes that went down to 4s and 3s, for God's sake.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's dude. I love the number rating so much. I think it's like, I ironically love it. I think it's funny, but it's funny. It's fun to make fun of because so many people. I think people take it a weird way. Like I get that some people do it as like an entertainment. Like this is how much I enjoyed the episode thing, and that in itself is kind of whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It feels weird to me to have some like modern day episodes. Or even like episodes that date back to like season 8, really, be given like 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. It's like, brother,
Yeah.
like, I get that
You
some
would
people
not have made it.
like, brother, I get that some of this is like your own personal enjoyment, but
I would say you don't know how to use the number system. That's my argument.
yeah, exactly. Like, I see people give, like, Bakugo versus Reze a 3 out of 10, and I just think back
Oh
to...
my God.
Like, I look back at that scene of Reze... I know this is a tangent, I don't... Whatever.
Well, we're done with the episode anyway.
True.
Yeah,
it's
true.
just, I look back at that scene of Reze making that giant-ass rainbow explosion, and I'm like, y'all giving this shit a
Really?
3?
Yeah, what the hell?
Mhm.
Like, look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't like Bakugo versus Reze a lot either, but I'm not giving that episode anything below a 7 or a 6. Going down to a fucking 4 or a 3. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like just like it all you want, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no. I mean, look, if it was really that bad, why the hell did you watch it, and why did you contribute to the viewing system on YouTube?
Yeah, I really think we need to retire the... I laugh at it, but we need to retire the number system.
Yeah.
Because it just makes... Because it's at a point where it just makes no sense anymore.
No, I prefer to use the grading system, like the A, B, C, because it's just much better in my opinion. Like how I'll even do the stars, like the 1 out of 2, the 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5. It doesn't matter. The star system, the grading system, I think those are better on how to judge and rate your entertainment.
Yeah, because I see like I'm of the opinion, maybe I'm in the unpopular here, but I'm of the opinion that like basically every episode from like season, let's say 8, maybe 7 onwards, them getting anything lower than like a 5 or a 6, I'll say 6 because them getting anything lower than like a 6 out of 10 feels kind of wild to me.
Yeah.
Like how does some of those episodes get like 6s or 5s or 4s? Like how does some of those episodes get like 3 out of 10s, and then you go to like, I don't know, Godzilla versus Gamera and look at the shitty ass water physics.
Or the shitty ass Godzilla model that doesn't want to work sometimes.
Yeah. This, to be clear, that's not even a pot shot at that episode. That episode's I like that episode a lot. But how do you look at those how do you look at that episode and say, yeah, this is great. It's like, I get that, like, you know, it was season 2, therefore we need to be more lax about it. I don't agree to an extent. I do agree that, like, yes, they were earlier episodes, so therefore they didn't have like all the resources they do nowadays. So sure, yeah, fair. They're still not great. I I still don't quite understand how, like, I don't know. At this point, I'm going on a tangent about production value at this point. Like maybe I'm focusing a bit too much on that, because maybe it could just be at this point I'm easily impressed. With I see a lot of like the production side of Death Battle, and I'm just like, damn, this shit had a lot of work put into it, had a lot of care put into it, and that affects my overall enjoyment of it. So like again, I look at Reze's rainbow explosion, or the fireworks at the end of that episode, or Megamind's presentation thing here with the 40,000 brain bots. I look at all that and I just think, how can anybody call these episodes bad? Like not saying I don't like them, saying they are outright bad. I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Who knows?
And again, I could be the minority there, but you know what? I don't care. And again, you are totally allowed to dislike an episode. If you do not like the direction this episode went, if you think there should have been more combat there, that's great. That is your opinion. You are entitled to that. You are valid for that. Like if your ultimate thing is, I don't like the direction, then great. We can work with that.
Yeah. But if your actual response is this is a 3 out of 10 episode, then I seriously cannot take you seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to take you seriously as a critic, because again, you only grade or number things if you're trying to critique them. And also too, it's like, go on with your day. Please go. Do not let this episode's disappointment bring you down. Like, at the end of it all, we still can live and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. One episode turned out to be a disappointment. The horror.
Oh no, the horror. A bad episode. Oh no, what do we do? I'll tell you what we do. We move the hell on.
Yep. And that, unless ZDogg has anything to add, is what we're going to do.
Nope. Let's do it.
All right. So we will see you all. These are probably going to get released a day apart from each other. So if that's the case, we will see you all tomorrow.
Yep.
For part 2, where we talk about the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we have some words to say. For sure.
We have words.
All right. We will see you then. I guess we're doing an outro now, so goodbye.
Yes. Bye.